Yeah, let us go for question number 25. So it is multiple answer type question. Right. There are n identical prisms. N identical prisms which are kept in contact as shown in diagram. Now whenever a ray is suffering the deviation by a single prism is delta. If you consider a single prism through which ray is suffering the deviation delta, then the options given, if n is equal to 2m, the deviation through n prisms, system of n prisms is 0. If n is equal to 2m plus 1, the deviation through the system of n prisms is delta. If n is equal to 2m, again the deviation through n system of n prisms is delta, and if n is equal to 2m plus 1, the deviation through system of n prisms is 0. Yeah, let us find this. What exactly the option is giving corresponding to the system of n identical prisms when kept in contact. So first option, let us verify. Suppose there is a prism. Definitely it is incident on it, giving its deviation. We know a single prism is giving a deviation. Okay. So identical prism. Suppose whatever the deviation is given by single prism in one direction, if the prism is keeping reverse and kept in contact to it, what happens? Whatever the deviation given by the first prism, the same deviation is giving in reverse by the second prism, because these two prisms are identical. Therefore, whenever these two light rays are extending, emergent light and incident light, these two are extended, then these two becomes parallel. So what is the deviation suffered by the light? No deviation at all. Here the deviation is 0 in this case. So deviation delta equal to 0. So whenever we kept in contact one more prism with these two prisms, one more identical prism with this, and the third is joined with it, what happens? Again it deviated. How much? Delta. See here, the deviation given by one prism is delta, and same identical prism is kept in contact with it in reverse. Whatever the deviation given by the first prism, that is nullified by the second one, and the total deviation becomes 0. If it is keeping third joining with it in the same sense as that of the first one, then what happens? Deviation occurs. How much? First two prisms due to which the net deviation 0, but deviation will occurring, that is by the third prism, which is delta again. So three prisms are used, but net deviation is delta only, which is equal to deviation given by single prism. One more prism is connected reverse. Again this deviation becomes 0. Again extended this light. Now these two becomes parallel again. Like that, whenever n is equal to 2m, where m is 1, 2, 3, so on, n will be even integer. N is even integer. So n is number of prisms. If number of prisms 2 are used, net deviation 0, and 4 used, net 0, 6 used, net 0, like that even integer for the system. If the prisms, number of prisms n is equal to even integer, therefore net deviation suffered by the light will be 0. Therefore once you verify this option A, that n is equal to 2m, deviation through the system of n prisms is 0, because m is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, all are giving the set of prisms are even integer. Therefore for even number of prisms are kept contact, deviation 0. Two prisms kept contact in this way, reverse with each other, and four are kept contact 0, 6 kept contact 0, 8 like that. Even number of prisms are keeping like this. Then net deviation 0. And go for second one, B. If n is equal to 2m plus 1, where m is equal to 1, 2, 3, so on. So n is giving odd integer. N is odd integer. We discussed now that two prisms are giving the net deviation 0. When third is joined, then again deviation occurring, that is delta. And fourth joined 0, and fifth joined again deviation is occurring delta. Therefore, for odd integer, the net deviation totally how much? Delta, which is equal to deviation given by the single prism. Therefore, in this case, this is also correct. This is correct. Now, option A and B are correct, and C and D are wrong. So let us move on another one. Now question number 26. So here 5 right angled isosceles triangular prisms. 5 are kept in contact as shown in the diagram. Their refractive indices given mu1, mu2, mu3, mu4, mu5. All are kept contact. Now, a ray of light is grazing. That is the grazing incidence on the first prism and suffering the refraction by all these prisms and finally grazing out of the last prism. Then, find the relation between mu1, mu2, mu3, mu4, mu5. What kind of relation will have these system of prisms, that is up to 5 prisms. So whenever grazing incident and finally light is grazing emergent. Okay. Now it's very simple, but solution is big one. When you are going through solution, that everywhere at interface we are using the Snell's law. It is not big question at all, but the work is more. But I will give a logical approach and trick and logic. Directly we can write its answer. No need to solve the total this work or the solution is not at all need to find this relation. So here I will explain that general method by using Snell's law, how we can find the relation between refractive indices of 5 prisms. See here, this is initially grazing incidence 90 degree and angle of refraction, let it be R1, and these normals extended here 90 degree because right angled isosceles triangles. Now here this angle becomes 90 minus R1. This is R1, this is 90, 90 minus R1. Again it is one more prism, so refraction takes place in it. Let it be R2. Here again normals are giving 90 degree here in this triangle. In this triangle, this is 90, this is R2, 90 minus R2. R3 again 90 minus R3. R4 again 90 minus R4. R5 again 90 minus R5, and finally grazing it is 90 degree outside. So this is mechanism, simple idea, right? Using Snell's law at each interface. Yeah, here at this interface, Snell's law 1 into sin 90 is equal to mu1 into sin R1 and simplified equation 1. Okay, next here at this interface mu1 into, see here at this point mu1 into sin 90 minus R1, mu1 into sin 90 minus R1 is equal to here mu2 into sin R2. So for this interface, this side and this side, right? By simplifying this, mu1 cos 90 minus R1 equal to cos R1, mu1 cos R1 equal to mu2 sin R2, equation 2. And similarly, from second and third prism interface, that second mu2 cos R2. Why? Because already we calculated this mu1 cos R1, mu2 sin R2. So keep in your mind 1, 1, 2, 2. Similarly, we can write it all the equations 1, 1, 2, 2. But cos sin. See here 2, 2, 3. 2, 2, 3, 3. 2233, 3344, 4455. That's enough. So once you get the relation, then that will be continuing in the same order. 1122, 2233, 3344, 4455. But difference is, here it is cos, here it is sin. Cos, sin, cos, sin, cos, sin. Like that. And finally, here, see, outside 1 sin 90 is equal to mu 5 sin 90 minus r5 cos r5, equation 6. So these equations are squaring on both the sides and adding them and simplify it, then you will get a relation finally. This is concept, but remaining will be simplification. Squaring the equations and adding them and simplify, you will get answer. But I am going for a logical method. This is method 1. Method 1. Method 1 is lengthy, so it is not completed. I was given how we use Snell's law, at which interface, what kind of relations we extract from the Snell's law. All are given number of equations, and by solving them, squaring and adding them, you will get a relation. So again, some more the calculation remains in it. Okay, no need to do all these things. I am going for method 2. Method 2. See, very simple. The prisms are keeping erect. These are the inverted. This is erect, this is inverted. How many erect? 3 prisms are erect. How many are inverted? 2 prisms. The prisms which are erected, all are positive. Which are inverted, all are negative. Right? See here, mu1 is erected, mu1 square. Okay? Plus mu3 erected, mu3 square, plus mu5 erected, mu5 square. Next, it is reversed, minus mu2 square. It is also inverted, minus mu4 square is equal to, the total equal to, how many inverted? 2 prisms are inverted, therefore 2. This is your answer. Okay, otherwise we can write it as mu1 square plus mu3 square plus mu5 square is equal to, take that side, 2 plus mu2 square plus mu4 square. Either you this answer or this answer. Both are same. That's enough. Very simple. Now question number 27. 3 right-angled isosceles triangular prisms which are kept in contact as shown in diagram, and their refractive indices are given mu1, mu2, mu3. Now, question is, what is the relation between mu1, mu2, mu3 whenever the light is grazing incidence and finally after refraction grazing emergence, right? Now the relation is, as I said, the logic. By the logic directly we can get answer. These two are erected. Yeah, mu1 square plus mu3 square. This is inverted, minus mu2 square. How many are inverted? 1. Now the answer is this one. Or otherwise we can also write it as mu1 square plus mu3 square is equal to 1 plus mu2 square. This is your answer. That's all. Okay. Now let us go for another problem, that is problem number 28. Now in this case there is a prism of refractive index n is equal to root 3. A ray incidenting on one of the refracting surfaces, that is I1 is equal to 60 degree, and after refraction it is emerging, that emerging angle is theta. Now the condition is given for refractive index n is equal to root 3, the value of theta is 60 degree. That is, when refractive index root 3 at angle of emergence is 60 degree and d theta by dn is equal to m, then the value of m is, this is the question, right? Using Snell's law at first interface AB, at AB, 1 outside, 1 refractive index 1 and sine of the 60 is equal to root 3 sine of R1. Now root 3 by 2 is equal to root 3 sine R1 and root 3 gets cancelled. Sine R1 is equal to, finally we are getting 1 by 2. Then R1 is equal to 30 degree. R1 equal to 30 degree. Here it is R1. Okay. Now condition is given I1 is equal to 60 degree. For this n is equal to root 3. Theta equal to 60 degree means I1 is equal to I2. Therefore R1 equal to R2. This is minimum deviation condition. Therefore, again using Snell's law, that at second interface AC, using Snell's law at AC, therefore inside n into sine, this is R2, this is angle of refraction R2, n sine R2 equal to outside 1 into sine theta. Now n into sine R2 is 30 degrees, sine theta equal to sine theta. Now simplifying this, n by 2 is equal to sine theta, differentiate this 1 by 2, dn by d theta equal to cos theta. Then d theta by dt is equal to 1 by 2 cos theta, 1 by 2 cos theta is 60 degree given when n is equal to root 3, and by substituting this 1 by 2 gets cancelled, will give 1. If d theta by dn is equal to 1 in the sense which is equal to m value is 1, unity. So that is, finally the answer is giving that m value is 1, that is d theta by dn. Okay. Yeah. Let us move on. Next concept, dispersion of light. Already we discussed at the beginning, when white light is incident on a prism which split up into 7 constituent colors. This phenomenon is known as dispersion of light. And here, for our convenience, the spectrum is produced by the prism after dispersion, when screen is keeping on another side, and the which are colors after separation of the 7 colors from this white light and fall on the screen, which is giving collection of different colored bands known as a spectrum. Spectrum is obtained on the screen, which are, but for our convenience, we are considering 2 extreme colors in the spectrum and 1 more color is considered, that is the mean light, which is known as yellow color. Yellow color is the mean light. Already earlier we discussed this point, because the average wavelength of red and violet, which exactly equal to the wavelength of the yellow color, therefore yellow is taken as average color or mean color, so that we considering 2 extreme colors in the spectrum with mean light yellow. So 3 colors are shown in it. And one more point, why the dispersion takes place, why the color 7 colors are separated or splitting from the white light when the light is incidenting on the prism. The reason is, the different colors in white light, there are different wavelengths for different colors. There are 7 colors and 7 different wavelengths. So because of this different wavelengths, and the prism material will provide a different refractive indices for different colors. Red will have its own refractive index for material of the prism, and the refractive index of material of the prism for yellow is different, and for violet is different, for indigo is different, and different colors will provide it different refractive indices for material of the prism. Means the refractive index is not common for all these colors. Because of this reason, so in accordance with the wavelength of the light, wavelength of different colors, the material medium will acquire different refractive indices for different colors. This is the reason why the light, different colors are splitting from white light and giving dispersion. The dispersion of light is happening because of this reason. Material, medium of the prism will have different refractive indices for different colors in accordance with the wavelength of the colors, so that there is a dispersion of light and splitting the 7 colors from white light. Okay, now Cauchy is a scientist. He given so approximate empirical relation, empirical formula. So what kind of relation between refractive index and the wavelength of the light used, wavelength of the light of different colors? Mu is equal to A plus B by lambda square, where A and B are Cauchy's constants, but these constants depends on nature of material of the prism. Means the material of the prism made of glass, and prism made of fiber, and prism made of crown glass, prism made of flint glass. As the glass changes, material medium changes, then definitely these constants will alter. Therefore, Cauchy given that A and B are the constants which depends on the nature of material by which we are preparing the prism. Okay, so that empirical formula, approximate empirical formula is constructed by Cauchy, that is mu is equal to A plus B by lambda square, to understand how the refractive index of material medium changes in accordance with the wavelength of the light. So because of this reason, as wavelength of the color changes, then definitely refractive index of material medium changes. Because of that reason, so the white light from which the 7 colors will split up, so that phenomena we are taking the dispersion of light. This is all about dispersion and its cause, everything is given. Now let us go for one more point, that is angular dispersion. Angular dispersion. What does it mean? What is the definition? What is the meaning of angular dispersion? There are two definitions. Definition 1. The angular separation between two extreme colors in the spectrum produced by the prism is known as angular dispersion. Means in the spectrum, what are the extreme colors? Red and violet. Red and violet are two extreme colors, red and violet. So we know that deviation suffered by the violet is maximum than that of the red. Earlier we discussed that red has greater wavelength corresponding mu value smaller. When mu is smaller, deviation, see here, delta deviation equal to mu minus 1 into A. From this relation, for the given prism, for angular prism A, for the given prism, here refractive index will decide the deviation. So for red color, wavelength more, mu is smaller, deviation is smaller. And for violet color, lambda is smaller and refractive index is more. If refractive index is more, deviation is more. Therefore, lambda red is greater than lambda violet, but deviation of red is smaller, or deviation of violet is greater than deviation of red. So violet will get greater deviation than that of the red color. Okay. Now, how much extra deviation suffering by this violet color comparing with red color? So we can find it very easy. How much extra deviation is there? Delta V minus delta R is the extra deviation suffered by the violet color because of its smaller wavelength. So this is indirectly giving angular dispersion. Angular dispersion means that is the angular separation between two extreme colors. Extreme is red and violet. Angular separation means deviations. So red color will have its own deviation, violet will have its own deviation. Red color and violet color will have different deviations. Once we observe here, delta V is the deviation suffered by the violet and delta red deviation suffered by the red. So their separation, this is angular separation, means delta V by delta R, that is giving the difference in deviations of extreme colors produced by the prism in the spectrum is defined as angular dispersion. Angular dispersion. And there is one more definition. So angular dispersion can also be defined that the rate of deviation with wavelength of the light is also defined as angular dispersion. See here, one more formula, one more definition, that the rate of deviation with wavelength, the rate of deviation with wavelength is defined as angular dispersion. So there are two definitions. So this is one definition, this is another definition. So angular dispersion is also defined as the rate of deviation with wavelength is also defined as angular dispersion. So this can be written as theta equal to d delta by d mu into d mu by d delta. For our convenience, d mu gets cancelled, again you will get same answer. So here delta is equal to mu minus 1 into A for small angled prism, and also Cauchy given a formula, empirical formula, mu is equal to A plus B by lambda square. So we have delta value for small angled prism, and we have refractive index, that is from Cauchy's empirical formula, A plus B by lambda square. Then these two values are substituted in this equation. Theta equal to d by d mu of, here delta equal to mu minus 1 into A into d by d lambda of mu value substituted and differentiated it. Here it remains A into, here after simplifying, this is after differentiating, minus 2b by lambda cube, and by simplifying finally theta is equal to minus 2ab by lambda cube. So this is the relation how the angular dispersion depends on the wavelength of the light used. Means here the angular dispersion is the bending or the deviations taken by the colors in accordance with their wavelengths, and that is giving the proper relation. This is empirical formula, Cauchy's formula. This is the angular dispersion, how it relates with their wavelengths. That is also derived and proved that in the dispersion of light, the light different colors will have different deviations and different bendings and deviations, angular separations. That is finding depends on the wavelength of the light. Therefore, depending upon their wavelengths, violet will have smaller wavelength. Therefore, angular separation, angular dispersion is greater for violet and it is smaller for red color. This is proved how the light, different lights are getting different deviation and different angular dispersion, that depending upon their wavelengths. It is the proof. Okay. Next, let us go for another concept. Yeah. Let us go for one more point, that dispersive power. Dispersive power is represented by omega. So what is the meaning of dispersive power? Yeah, whenever a white light is incident on a prism, from this white light, the 7 colors will be separate, splits from the white light and giving as a spectrum. So here the dispersive power, which indicates how great the colors which are splitted from the white light by the prism can be decided by this dispersive power. Suppose dispersive power omega is greater for a prism. What does it mean? Which can split the 7 colors from the white light with greater amounts. Means they are clearly separate from each other from white light. So that is indicating the dispersive power. Or simply say the dispersive power in the sense the material medium of the prism which has the ability by which it's splitting the white light into 7 constant colors. How great it splits up from white light. So that ability of the splitting of 7 colors from white light is known as dispersive power of the prism. So that is the meaning of dispersive power. Now to get this dispersive power, we need support of angular dispersion. The basic definition of dispersive power is defined as mathematically that the ratio of angular dispersion to deviation of mean light. Mean light is yellow. So this is dispersive power. The ratio of angular dispersion to deviation of mean light is defined as dispersive power of the given material medium of the prism. Right. So what is the angular dispersion? Already discussed at this point. So that is angular separation. Means angular dispersion is defined as angular separation between two extreme colors in the spectrum produced by the prism is defined as angular dispersion. Therefore, theta is equal to delta V minus delta R. As we know, for small angled prism deviation formula mu minus 1 into A. Yes, here for violet mu V minus 1 into A minus mu R minus 1 into A. After simplifying, you will get angular dispersion formula that mu V minus mu R into A. Okay? But this angular dispersion depends on angle of prism. Yes, it depends on angle of prism. If angle of prism is greater, and angular dispersion will also be greater. And also depends on the refractive indices for violet and red colors. See here. So where mu V is refractive index of material medium of the prism for violet color, and mu R refractive index of material of the prism for red color, and different colors will provide different refractive indices for material of the prism. Therefore here mu V and mu R are the different refractive indices for the material of the prism for different colors, and here angular dispersion depends on angle of prism. If angle of prism is more, angular dispersion is more, and also depends on refractive indices. And by using this angular dispersion, we can define that dispersive power of the material of the prism. Dispersive power is defining that the ratio of angular dispersion to deviation of mean light. So this is dispersive power. Therefore, finally we can write this dispersive power omega is equal to, so angular dispersion, that is delta V by delta V minus delta R by, so mean color delta Y. So this is simply formula for dispersive power. So it has no units and dimensions. It has no units and dimensions because it is the ratio of deviations. Okay. Now this can also be written as that is theta equal to mu V minus mu R into A by, for yellow color gets cancelled, then you will get dispersive power formula mu V minus mu R by mu minus 1. This is another formula in terms of refractive indices. This is one formula. This is in terms of deviation suffered by violet, red and yellow. But here this is in terms of refractive indices. Whether you are taking this formula or this formula giving same answer, but here this is the ratio of refractive indices. It is the ratio of deviations. Therefore, omega has no units and dimensions. Units, no units, dimensions, no dimensions. No units and no dimensions. Simply it is giving a magnitude value. So based on that value, if dispersive power value, suppose omega is obtained, greater amount, suppose if it is 0.8 obtained, and one more value, that is for another prism 0.2 obtained, which one is greater? So first one, dispersive power is greater, means dispersive power in the sense it is the ability of the prism material by which how great the white light from which the different colors will be split up from white light is known as dispersive power. Simply say it is the ability in splitting the white light into 7 constant colors known as dispersive power of the prism material. So dispersive power has no units and dimensions. These are the formulae, a very important formula. This is equation 1 and this is equation 2. These two are very important formulae for finding the dispersive power of material of the prism. Then based on this we will continue for the next concept in the next video.